Good morning, good evening, wherever you happen to be watching this video on Spector Creative. My name is Scott, Toy Guru Neitlich, and I want to talk today about cost of toys and the cost of paint. Now, obviously, there are lots of different toy categories out there, and all toys' costs are based on the raw materials that go into that. Now, there's two types of raw materials, direct and indirect. Toys, for the most part, are made out of three things: paper, meaning the packaging; paint, which is the color that the toy is; and plastic, which comes in little beads like this. I mean, there's metal parts too, but that's for the most part. Now, sometimes a figure comes in at a higher cost than is required for a company. Now, it's important to have consistency. And when this happens, sometimes you have to eliminate things. The easiest is to eliminate a piece of plastic. So when we did Necron, this is the DC Direct one, we had to eliminate his weapon there. So when we did the Mattel version, he didn't have his scythe, or Sith? Scythe? Scythe. Sith is a Jedi bad guy. All right, so that's about eliminating plastic, but what about eliminating paint? Well, it's also obviously easy to do. You just paint a toy less. Every time you paint a toy, it's called a paint op, an operation, right? And this is done through the vendor, essentially. Every single time a paintbrush touches a toy, it costs a few cents. Maybe it's a penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies, but it adds up pretty quick. If it's 2 pennies, that means 50 times the paintbrush hits. Well, that's $1. 100, that's $2. So you have to really keep track of how many times that you're asking the vendor to literally touch the figure. The other thing for paint is you can do something called a wash. This is when you spray a figure in order to bring out more details. And honestly, it's one of the first things that often gets eliminated because it's expensive. It's more than just a few pennies because you're actually doing a mechanism. You're not just touching a figure with a paintbrush. All right, so with the different ways this is counted, you could see how eliminating paint is one of the easiest ways to cost reduce a toy. I mean, look at poor Thor here in those boots. I mean, come on. He probably should have, or originally did have a few paint ops put on them, but this new version, compared to the old one on the right, had all of his paint ops removed for cost reasons. So let's look at how this is calculated. All right, the figure I want to look at first is the High Evolutionary from the Fantastic Four Marvel Legends wave from a couple years back. Now, at first glance, this figure appears to be a very low deco figure, right? I mean, he's all in red, his arms and legs are all silver, he's just got a couple rivets here and there, and, for the most part, he's just a character in red armor with silver arms and legs. But because of those rivets, he becomes actually a very expensive figure. So, all right, let's count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and then a little belt buckle, back 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, eyes, 86, 87, and then we'll go 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. All right, so he's got about 92 deco hits. Times that by 2 cents, you're talking about a huge chunk of that figure. Now, this is offset by other figures from the assortment. So if you look at Invisible Woman, she might actually look like a higher decoed figure, but she has way less deco. I mean, her accessories have 0 deco, and her belt is painted, so that's probably 3 paint ops. 1, 2, actually 4, 3 and 4 on the sides for cleanup, so that's 4. The gloves are not painted, those are molded. And then let's see, then there's paint around the neck. There's a sticker on the chest, all right, and that paint around the neck is probably about maybe 10 paint ops in order to do that. And then the face is a sticker. That's what they're doing now. So yeah, you're probably looking like 20 ops. All right. Another interesting example, let's take a look at another Marvel Legends figure. This one also appears to be kind of highly decoed. I mean, his face is covered in deco, but he actually doesn't have a single piece of deco on him. It's all plastic. It's all plastic colors. The belt, the shoes, the gloves, there's no deco. And that face is a sticker. The eyes are done through clear iridescent. So how is this done? All right. Obviously, we've looked at lots of different ways that deco can be removed then once it's counted. And while you can remove plastic from a figure like an accessory, it's way easier to remove deco. Let's look at an example that's not 6-inch. Let's look at a 3 3/4 figure. And again, you can see how heavily decoed sometimes these figures are and how much of the cost of the actual figure goes into paint ops. So once again, all right, so let's see, we got about 3 on the front of the belt here, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 rivets, 8, 9 for that belt buckle, 10. All right, let's see, the sides are done with stickers. All right, so probably up to 11 for that rivet there on the holster, 12, and then the face is a sticker, and the hair is plastic. All right, so you got about 10, 12, 15 decades. So this is all decided based on profit margin, and profit margin by industry does change, but no matter what the industry, it's going to be regulated by the people who own the company, which, unless it's a private company, they're stockholders. So let's say you're going to sell the figure for 20. You need to produce it for 10. And I'm just using hypothetical numbers here to explain the point. So if you have $10 to spend on the cost of the figure, if you will, it has to be out the door. Well, let's say the unpainted figure costs you $9 in plastic, all right, which means you have $1 to spend on paint. Well, this character takes way more than $1. He takes over $2 in paint ops, which means you have to start reducing paint op to make him at that $10. And taking out $2 in paint, that can really be a big cost reduction. But because you have to hit that target cost set by the owners of the company, you have to find a way to get that figure down to what's called the ex-factory cost, the cost of the plastic, the paper, and the paint, and yeah. And so that you can see why Thor, I mean, look at his cape. His cape is not painted. It had to be reduced in order to get him down to the target cost. So when you see a figure that's lacking paint, that's why. And every single time the paintbrush hits, you're charged. I hope this video clarified how paint ops work and how cost reductions work and how they're counted. If you have any questions or any kind of follow-up is needed, let me know. Always happy to do that. Thanks for sharing, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.